All right, for more, we are now joined by Nhlamulo Ndhlela, who's the MK Party spokesperson, and later we'll be joined by Mike Mabuyakulu, the ANC KZN coordinator. Mr. Ndhlela, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. So we saw the MK Party posing that motion of no confidence against the KZN Premier, it not passing primarily because, I would believe, of that no secret vote that did not take place. What are your reflections as a party today?
No, thank you for the invite and good evening to your viewers. Today's process was nothing more but, legislative integrity being aborted. We requested a secret ballot, and this was informed by the threats that our members have received as of this morning and for the past couple of days. We communicated these threats to the speaker and raised concerns and said that for the purposes of democracy and ensuring that members are protected, let's allow for a secret ballot, because we know that there are members also within the GPU who are progressive, who quite honestly are tired of what is happening in that GPU, but more so wanted to vote with their conscience because they believe that Mkhonto Sizwe would truly represent, when they govern KZN, the will of the people. As it is, what we have is a coalition of rejects whose interests are based off the back of funding that they get from a family. Whereas Mkhonto Sizwe is not owned by this family. We are owned by the people of KZN. We are here to represent the people of KZN. The people of KZN have rejected this GPU. This GPU continues to fail on a daily basis. And even the members in the GPU themselves have stated this categorically. So we are saying that, it's about time that, speakers in this case of parliament also need to act with integrity. You can't come and use and bastardize case law. And we know very well that the powers are always vested in the speaker to initiate a vote of no confidence by secret ballot. Of course it is. But to bastardize a case between the UDM, the UDM case in 2017, to suit your own narrow-minded political agenda, when you know very well that people, including you yourself, should be voting with your conscience. But again, what do you expect from people who have no conscience whatsoever, whose narrow-minded agenda is to ensure that they continue to cling on to power, abuse state resources, drive in blue lights, as opposed to serving the will of the people?
So the speaker
None of
earlier
those
on
parties represent the will of the people.
Right. Earlier on, the speaker speaking on the channel said, well, she didn't have any compelling proof to prove that the vote needed to happen in secret.
What more compelling proof does she need than members of her own legislature being threatened and that being opened with the police? It's like saying that she's saying that the police in this case, in her own province, which is obviously in this case also controlled by their own government, are illegitimate. That's what she's saying to you. That cases, and that's the message she's sending to people in KZN, that if you go and you open up a case with the police in KZN, it will never be taken seriously. That's what she's saying, because this is what we have done. We went and opened up a case which is legitimate, of which our people are being threatened. And more so, if her knowing how volatile KZN is politically in terms of violence, that's the one thing that she should have done. To say, well, in this case, then let's allow a secret ballot. It is the constitutional right of members of parliament, of the legislature, to request a secret ballot and to protest if they feel that they've not been heard or a decision is going to be taken, like she did arrogantly so, without even giving us an opportunity to further state why the further reasons there should be a secret ballot are. Because we know that there are those who have a conscience, even in their GPU, who want to vote for the people of KZN and who want the people of KZN represented and who believe that MK Party should govern. And this is clear that all of this has been orchestrated from day one. Remember, MK Party shouldn't be in a position where it even has to table a motion of no confidence. We believe we won these elections, and it's fact. These elections were rigged. And this is now starting to play itself out quite well, because now you can tell that all of this was designed. It was by design, because MK must get enough percentage to garner this 37 seats. We must give EFF enough percentage just to get another 2 seats. And the kingmaker becomes a certain party, which then becomes the one that, through clearly an individual who's become rogue, it would seem, in that party now is straight to go and vote with the GPU. So this is the politics of money. It's not the politics of people. It's got nothing to do with carrying the will of the people or caring for South Africans that are dying on a daily basis, that are jobless, that are poor, that can't even go to school and be fed. People are dying in this province because of even not even having homes. There are ladies that are still missing from floods. What have they done about them? Shame on these people.
So the MK party has been accused of disrupting today's parliamentary or legislative proceedings and saying that you have undermined democratic processes. Do you think there's a different way in which the MK party could have handled today's proceedings in order for you to be able to get those votes in and possibly get the numbers that you were looking for?
Well, I think one of the first things is that the speaker should not have involved the police. The police, by virtue of them entering and barging into the legislature, that itself broke the laws. And this is part of the reason why even at the National Assembly, for instance, where I'm also representing my political party, you have, security in there which are called white shirts. And this was to eliminate these kind of outcomes. The police came in there carrying firearms with live rounds, barging in there, intimidating our people who were protesting against the decision that was taken by the speaker. So why didn't she allow, this matter to be resolved? Because we are not unruly people. If there's one thing about Umkhonto we Sizwe party from day one, just 2 weeks ago, IFP members killed 2 of our members. From day one, just in Ophongolo, the first by-election, it was the ANC that attacked our members. Ever since Umkhonto we Sizwe was announced, our members have been killed, assaulted, and die in this particular province as well. So for us to raise these issues and request that there be a sensible decision for us to be protected, and for those that want to vote with their conscience be protected, and then you want to call the police on them, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's constitutional. I don't think that reflects democracy, and neither will it ever even reflect the will of the people of this province. We're saying there should have been a different way in which this should have been handled, and the police were using force. I can tell you something else also. Some of our members outside of the legislature who were obviously chanting and in celebration and supporting Umkhonto we Sizwe, the motion, they were being attacked by members of IFP. So if there's any political party that is the most violent political party, it's them. They were my own member in my communications team was attacked just by walking across and walking past them. So they mustn't come and paint a picture as if Umkhonto we Sizwe is a political party that is violent. The violent ones here are the ones that are violating the will of the people.
So the motion was not passed. I suppose you'd be going back to the drawing board. What really is the plan for the MK party in holding the government accountable going forward in the province of KZN?
Well, first and foremost, everyone's referring to a vote. Which vote? Who voted? Where was the mace? By virtue of the mace not being there, the whole process then fell within the ambit of illegitimate. It was illegitimate. There was no legitimacy to any process. We didn't vote. And we don't know where they conjured up that vote or this perception that Umkhonto we Sizwe lost a vote today. We didn't lose any vote today because we didn't participate in any vote. We're waiting for a secret ballot to be announced as to whether it goes ahead or not in a proper sitting. That's the first one. So we were engaging with our legal team, and our legal team is we're going to be looking at all the footage. I've just touched on some of the issues that we are certainly going to be bringing forth. But what we want to communicate to South Africans is that Umkhonto we Sizwe is going to pursue this tirelessly. We are not going to allow a situation where rejects that are funded by one family are going to want to govern the majority of the people in this province. This province must be and will be governed by Umkhonto we Sizwe, come hell or high water. And we'll use every single instrument at our disposal to ensure that that happens. Because people are tired of just sitting around and just waiting, for people who are just enjoying blue lights and who don't represent them. People are going to stand up and act. And we will also represent them in that act.
You keep mentioning a coalition of rejects that are funded by one family. Which family are you referencing?
Well, if you pay attention, you'll know. It's a fact. The Oppenheimers have been funding these political parties from day one. It's a fact. How can we hide that? It's fact. It's known. This is the politics of money, where people in white monopoly capital just want to control provinces and control our country using their monies. We can't, whilst our people continue to live impoverished. It can't be. We are tired of that.